Hey Avs fans, this episode is brought to you in part by MyBookie. MyBookie is already one of the most trusted and reputable sportsbooks in the industry and still has the best payouts and better odds than any other sportsbook going. If you join now, MyBookie will still match your deposit with a 50% bonus all the way up to $1,000. That means an extra $50 of free money if you deposit $100, deposit $200, get an extra $100. You know the deal. Just use the promo code THPN to activate the offer and take advantage of this. MyBookie also has a ton of other bonuses and promotions going on all the time for current accounts. Just check out the promotions page and there will be something for you. You can risk a little or you can risk a lot on as many games as you want. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid.
Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Don't forget to check out the Hockey Podcast Network's newest affiliate, NHLShop.com. That's right, the official NHL merchandise page. Right now, they're giving 20% off orders over $25 with code NHLICE25. Also, if you use our link that we're going to tweet out after this episode, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network. The Hockey Podcast Network has also joined forces with Puffy Mattresses. They're not just any bed-in-a-bag company. These are America's most comfortable mattress, and right now you can get $300 off a new mattress plus a free king-size pillow. Plus, they offer a 101-night sleep trial, so if you're not satisfied with the mattress, you can return it no problem. Also, if you use our link, just like NHLShop.com, you can help support us and the other hosts at the Hockey Podcast Network.
This is the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk on every team in the NHL.
Welcome to Offside by a Mile, the podcast for anything and everything Colorado Avalanche, and the official Avs podcast for the Hockey Podcast Network. Well, Avs fans, Elvis has left the building.
Beautiful.
That was excruciating,
Man.
to say the least. For what, like 50 minutes of hockey?
I mean, wow, that's like a huge streak. What did that even get to, I guess? Because when they came in, it was what, 100 and...
I think Brett had the Columbus feed on for what we weren't listening to it. We were watching it while we were watching the fights.
Yeah.
I saw them put up a graphic of 176 and change.
Shit.
But then I also saw a tweet from someone that said 196 for Elvis himself. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it was a separate shutout streak for the team, like maybe he didn't play that
maybe.
game the last time they got scored on or something.
Mm-hmm.
But still, regardless, that's
huge.
almost 3 straight games.
Yeah. And like, man, you watch Columbus play and you're like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah.
You're like, all right. And then Elvis, man, yeah. He's a pretty good young goalie there.
Was it you that tweeted the horseshoe comment, or was it somebody else in the Avs media that tweeted the fact that like Columbus and Elvis had a horseshoe wedged right up in there and it was gonna hurt when it fell out?
Definitely wasn't me, but that's good. You know?
Yeah, and certainly, I wouldn't say it exploded. Like it just, I wouldn't say the game just like fell apart for them, but man, that friggin' play, and we're gonna talk about it in a bit. That deflection off Merzlichkin's shoulder, off the crossbar, off the post, and out.
Yeah.
Has got to be
what the
luckiest thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
Like it looks like the puck is like doing everything it is trying. It's trying to get in there. It just won't go in. Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that was
but regardless,
crazy.
Good 2 points from the Avs.
Yeah.
The Ottawa game was a snooze fest.
In a way, yeah.
Mostly. But that's a good snooze fest for the Avs.
Yeah.
It was a 2-point snooze fest. They didn't let Ottawa, well, they tried to let them get into it, but they didn't actually get into it. Kind of similar to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Another thing to note, if you're listening, we are recording this prior to the Minnesota game on Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, I guess, 5:30. Scheduling stuff for us, we had to get it done. So
Yep.
that game, that recap will come to you on Thursday's episode. Sorry about that. If you're looking for it today, I'm sorry. Fingers crossed the Avs continue this road trip. It is a bit of a trek from Columbus to Minnesota overnight.
Yeah, it's not light travel by any means on this roadie. That is for sure.
But the good news is the Avs are on a 3-game winning streak, and Frankie's coming off, going to be in his first action since the All-Star break. So
yeah,
going to be exciting to watch him and talk about him on Thursday. But yeah, back to the games that we're going to talk about that have happened, Ottawa and Columbus. We'll start with Ottawa as usual. It's a weird game. After talking to Shane, I said to Jared, for sure, like first period, said, well, I guess this is going overtime.
Oh, yeah, right. With Hoberg. I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced.
I heard Hogberg on the broadcast a couple times too. Shane called him Hogberg, so I'm going to call him Hogberg today.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's weird. I think it should be Hoberg, but I don't know.
Who knows, man?
At least it's not Elvis Merzlikins or
Zadorov,
or whatever the hell. Like I don't.
What's it? Shesterkin or whatever. Shesterkin.
I should pull up the Elite Prospects thing and see what it says for them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, but it's going to take some time. So we'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, so the I don't know. I don't know. The first bit of the game was fine. It wasn't exactly thrilling.
Yeah.
But man, that Nichushkin goal.
Oh, yeah.
I like me some Val Nichushkin when he does stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last episode, but like Berkey and Nuke, man, they got some serious chemistry going, and they're both just like rolling right now. It's just a good situation on that newly, formed second line kind of. So,
yeah.
Pretty sweet.
It's, I mean, without saying, like the Colorado Buffalo game was huge for that Kadri, Berkey, and Nichushkin line.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, good job. This one didn't really involve Nas, but
yeah.
Great play by Nichushkin to turn the puck over, and then Burakovsky to feed it back to him. The old, I like the way they scissor comment from the broadcast booth.
Please stop.
You can't say that.
Oh my God, dude. It's every game. It's like in the Columbus game the other night. They did it and it was like, there's scissoring coming. It's like, oh my God, dude.
I'm not
that means different.
I'm not mature enough to handle these comments, okay? So
Seriously.
you got to stop for me, please.
It's a chuckle for me.
Especially after the Super Bowl, we just can't have that kind of women's derogatory terms, okay?
Yeah. Get that out of your vocab, man. Who even says that? He's like the only one that I've ever heard say that.
Crisscross?
Crisscross.
That's just
switch. A simple switch.
That's too much, eh?
No, scissor.
Gotta call it scissoring.
Yeah, they're scissoring. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Every time he says it, and especially on this one, probably because it was a goal or something, it stuck right in my brain.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God.
Yeah, I feel ya.
Some more, back and forth stuff in the period. But again, it was a period where the Avs were really, really all over Ottawa.
Oh, yeah.
And then, surprise, surprise, the Avs give it back and just blow it in the last minute of a period.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 10 minutes, the Senators didn't even have a shot on net. So, I mean, if that doesn't kind of display how dominating the first 10 minutes were for the Avs, I don't know what does.
Which I think I sent a message in our group chat with like, oh, good. The Avs are shooting way more than the Sens again in the first 10 minutes.
Right. It's always kind of concerning. And you're like, oh, no. Are we going to run into another hot goalie? Or are we going to be able to get some goals past this defense?
And then Brady Tkachuk rolls along. pops her in there with 50 seconds left in the period.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we're serious, huh? This is the new third period, the last minute of a period.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure that was 3 games in a row.
Yep.
Letting in
They
a
said
last minute goal in the first period.
They said it was 2 and then 3 in a few games, like in 4 or 5 games. It was 3 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, they did it in Philly. They did it in Buffalo, and they did it in Ottawa.
Yeah.
And it's just a bad goal. Like, it's the breakaway. It's just like,
it happened, man.
I just don't know. It's Landeskog with a brutal turnover, and it's just like, what are you trying to accomplish?
He had a rough game, honestly. Like,
I saw
for a game that the Avs pretty much dominate the opposition. Landeskog did not have a good game. He took that bad tripping penalty in the first period as well, which also, I got to say, the Avs penalty kill in this game was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Was really good. So, really aggressive, taking away lots of chances, swarming, getting the puck out.
The Sens had 50 seconds of offense in this game.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's about it.
They basically had 50 seconds of offense in this game. Obviously, that's a joke, but like, real deal chances. I can't think of very many like heavy duty saves Grubauer had to make.
Yeah, there wasn't too many.
Nice for him though to get in a game where he just kind of has to be there.
Right.
Like we said against Buffalo, like he made really good stops in the first period.
Yeah,
really good stops. This one was more of a as expected good team versus a bad team in Ottawa.
Seriously, yep.
Wasn't as one-sided on the scoreboard as kind of we were talking with Shane about, but Ottawa just didn't really have it.
They don't really have it.
Yeah, they don't really have it on most nights, right?
It's honestly kind of like watching that Buffalo game and watching the Senators game. It's like, okay, this is good. This is what we need to see from the Avs against teams like this.
We've talked about this for months, where it's just like the games that you gotta win. You can't just scrape them out 3-2 in overtime or something. You gotta impose your will. If you're a good team, you will make them play your game, first of all, and you will dominate them at your game.
Yeah.
Again, the Avs don't have defense to do what, say, Columbus did. Yeah. However, they kept up, and, man, Grubauer, we're going to get to it. Grubauer played fantastic on Saturday night. But, again, I'm not saying they need to smother teams with defense and stuff. Like, 6-2, 6-3, that's okay. This garbage can't happen, though. You can't go in with 50 seconds left in the period or a minute left in the period and try and do something just inside the blue line.
And basically kind of lose your focus. Yeah.
You're going to get burned every time.
Yeah.
If you don't have something in the last minute of a period, last 2 minutes of a period, put it in the corner.
Deep. Yeah.
Right? Like, you want to go cliche? Pucks in deep. Pucks in deep.
Get pucks deep.
Pucks in deep. Right?
Get those feet moving. Pucks in deep.
Like, and this one, it's just like, I don't know what you want Grubauer to do.
I mean,
obviously, yeah. Like, please make a save.
It would be nice to make a save, but like, it's not on him.
This is their best player.
Yeah.
We just talked about this. This is the reason the Avs had the 4th overall pick last year.
Yeah,
because they decided that Brady Tkachuk was worth taking.
Yeah,
and he has been worth taking.
Yeah,
100%. And I think I saw that tweet, and it's just like, man, could you imagine the universe where Ottawa didn't take Brady Tkachuk and gave us that pick, and we had Brady Tkachuk on this Avs team?
Could you imagine, dude? That'd be huge.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I saw that tweet, and I was like, oh, you can't do that to me.
Yeah, don't even make me think about that.
That's like wet dreams written all over it.
Yeah, that was funny, too. At the end of the period, Batherson kicked the one goal in, too.
God.
Yeah, thanks for kicking it in too, man. I appreciate that.
Should have just put it in.
Like, oh man, he could have had that. But again, it's like that was like 30 seconds after the other goal. It's like, dude, what?
Just horrendous, man.
Like, yeah, he kicked it in, but dude, it's in the back of your net. Like in the last minute, you're gonna let in 2 goals, possibly.
Think about how different this game is.
Oh yeah.
If that's 2-1 after 1 for Ottawa, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, are we dead serious that was almost a thing?
Yeah, that would have changed the entire outlook of that game, possibly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was, Wow. I honestly, I saw that puck go in. I saw them celebrate, and I was like, you have to be shitting me. Like, this is just... I was pissed off after one.
Yeah.
In the last minute there. And then you almost...
Yeah, it was... That's like when you get a little anxiety, and you're like, boys...
This is not...
Why
This
are you
isn't
doing
how you
this
do
to
it.
me?
This isn't how you do it.
Yeah.
But then they come out in the second, all over them again to start the second period, and Matt Nieto gets himself on the board.
Mm-hmm.
First goal in a while. I can't think of his last one offhand.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's been a while for sure.
He's had some good games, but he just hasn't put it in the back of the net.
Yeah. And, they've kind of just been messing around with those bottom two lines a little bit. Not necessarily a bad thing, honestly. Just trying to find different looks throughout some of these past few games. But yeah,
The nice thing about this goal, though, man, that feed from Pebs.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. That is not a 3rd/4th line feed.
Yeah.
That was a thing of beauty. Nieto just literally has to put it in the net. Like, it's just finish it, man. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Just put it in the net.
Get a stick on it.
I
some
thought Hogberg got it for a second. Like, he almost had that.
Yeah.
Which would have been unreal.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a crazy save.
Tyson Jost gets himself a second assist. It's deserved. It's just that was all Belmar. Like,
oh yeah, just sticking with it and
such good vision to catch Nieto over there, and then the pass is just on the money, perfect.
Yeah,
bang, one timer in the net.
Yeah, good recognition.
Cale Makar gets himself a power play goal.
Mm-hmm.
Finally getting the wheels turning again. He had a good weekend.
He
Thursday
really,
and Saturday.
really did.
Saturday was nice.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you can really see him, relocating his game, I guess.
He's not okay with Quinn Hughes coming up behind him in the Calder Trophy race.
Yeah, he's like, okay, boys, I'll put the pedal to the metal here and take off.
This one almost looks like it's Nichushkin. At first glance, you're like, oh, I think Nuke might have got it, but he didn't celebrate this time. So you're like, well, he definitely didn't get it this time.
Yeah.
Celebrated like he had it for last game. Was it Buffalo?
I think it was in the Buffalo game, yeah.
Or was it Philly?
I can't remember, honestly. I think it was Buffalo.
I think it was Buffalo, too.
Sitting at the side of the net.
Sitting at the side of the net. Selly's like crazy. It's like, that didn't hit you.
I got that.
This one he didn't, Selly, so I'm like, oh, I guess it was straight in. Really good screen by him, though.
Yeah.
Honorary assist for Val.
And he's kind of, they shot him onto that first power play unit. And I love it.
Is it the first or is it the second?
Because
I know Cale was on the second unit for a while. I haven't noticed.
Well, like they kind of, because they were having, they put Kadri out. They took Landeskog off the first unit. So it was Kadri, McKinnon, Rantanen, Makar, Nichushkin.
Right. So
it's kind of just a little bit of a tweak. And honestly, I love it because, Landeskog has just been kind of struggling lately.
Man, he is.
I don't know really what's his deal is. But
we kind of mentioned the fact that he needed the break to kind of maybe finish recuperating from his injury. Doesn't look like it worked. I don't know. I don't know if it's an injury thing or if it's maybe a conditioning issue where it's just he was off for almost 2 months. Like it's how it goes.
Yeah, or mentally. Too,
I don't know. It's tough to watch though right now. He is not.
It's not usual. Too,
he is
right?
not. He is not the normal Gabe Landeskog on that top line as we're used to, and it's tough to watch some nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was AJ Hafel, or again, however you say it. I really need to friggin' figure that out. He tweeted something along the lines of like maybe you move Calvert into Landeskog's spot for now.
I mean,
Calvert seems kind of like an interesting choice, but at the same time, he is. You don't want to split up that second line at all.
Yeah, you can't touch that right now.
It's just fire right now.
Yeah,
and if you're looking at the bottom six, Calvert is a dog and a bone, and you think Nathan McKinnon and Rantanen aren't going to have the puck very long? Ooh-wee.
Right.
Matt Calvert is getting them the puck.
Yeah, right. You
today,
watch him on
now,
the forecheck and stuff. Yeah.
3 seconds, and then it's back on the Avs stick there. So it's not a terrible idea. I would like to kind of see it. I'd like to kind of test the waters on that one.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings for sure.
It's an interesting experiment for sure. Yeah.
Just especially while Gabe, like maybe Gabe needs some sheltered minutes for a bit here or something, and it's not just the play for Brady Tkachuk's goal. There's been many, and there was some in this game too. Like there was a lot in this game where you're just like, dude, like Ottawa is creating nothing. Stop giving them chances.
Right.
Just stop.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the third goal here. Power play goal for the Avs. You know, they go 1 for 1 in the night. You can only do what you get. Or you can only do what you can with what you're given by the refs. And there was some, I don't know, questionable non-calls in this one.
Oh, man, was there ever. And no, it's crazy, too, is that was the first power play in 2 games because we didn't even have a power play against Buffalo.
Yeah, I remember them saying that on the broadcast, and I was like, how the hell did I not notice that?
Right. Oh, yeah, because, we messaged each other. There was no power plays in that?
How did I not notice there was no power plays against Buffalo?
But, yeah, so, like...
The whole game was a power play.
Yeah, the whole game felt like a man advantage. But, yeah, you know, good power play. Like, these special teams have actually come a long way in the last little bit.
I wouldn't get too crazy yet, because, I mean, there's a pretty brutal PK goal Saturday night, but it's just, yeah, like they're taking the right steps.
Yeah,
it seems. Obviously, you're not going to go from one of the worst in the leagues to the best in the league in 2 games or 5 games, but they're working that way. It's nice to see finally, because man, it was frustrating watching this team's power play not do well and the PK just
getting scored on
every time.
Yeah, it seemed like almost every game there was a penalty or a shorthanded goal against, or a goal against when we're shorthanded. Like, how do I word this, man?
Having a hard time. Yeah, so that's, you know, middle of the second kind of when Kale gets that power play goal. The rest of the period, the rest of the game was pretty quiet. Especially the third.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The third period felt like both teams just were like, okay, we're good here. We're good here. Okay.
Game? Is that game?
when you're in beer league and the game is just out of control. Now this is only 3-1, so it's kind of funny that it was like this. When you're in beer league and the game's like 6-7 goals, you're like, can you just run the clock?
Yeah, mercy.
That's what these guys wanted. Can you just run it, please?
I mean, it was the same kind of feeling. Like the Buffalo game and this game are really, really similar in the way that the Avs just took over and then the other team completely wilted.
Yeah.
And their will to play hockey was gone. Like there was nothing dangerous.
No.
Like I was never anxious at all in that third period, which is also just amen to that.
Thank you.
We've actually had some good, solid third period performances lately, especially in the Sabres game, which we'll get up to here in a bit.
Columbus.
Yes, thank you, Columbus. But yeah, like, you know, good, solid third period for the Avs, you know, running lines. That's the good thing about the Avs is we have good, solid 4 lines, which we can just cycle through once we're up, get pucks deep.
This is the perfect game for that.
Yeah.
Like the last 2 have been perfect for that.
And, yeah, like we were talking about Makar earlier, he just looked way more defensively engaged in this game, which continued on into that Blue Jackets game. But just like, even some of the 2-on-1 plays that he's making lately, it's just really making me happy.
Yeah,
man.
this 4th goal. The 4th goal is all Cale Makar.
So nice.
Matt Calvert finishes, and it's a really nice shot by Matt Calvert.
Yep.
But this is all because Cale Makar pushed the pace up the ice. He literally just skates them into a 2-on-1. Yep. It's not like they pass it around, guys. It's one pass to Matt Calvert, and Cale Makar says, see you bye, and just blows by everybody and creates a 2-on-1.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying Hogberg was cheating necessarily, but Cale Makar is there, and he has to think about it.
That's a tough play for a goalie, right?
If Calvert passes that across, that's in the net.
Yeah. Especially, with Makar.
Yeah, right? That's what I mean. Cale Makar did enough, and that's partially why Calvert probably sniped it by Hogberg, is the fact that there was something there. Because if it's just straight one-on-one, we watched every game. How many one-on-ones turn into something, like a legitimate offensive chance?
Yeah, not often. You got to be pretty skilled, really.
10% of the time, maybe?
Yeah.
And that's Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen, like on somebody. That's not Matt Calvert. Yes, Matt Calvert, we just talked about. He's feisty. He's not offensively super skilled.
Mhm.
He's not going to beat a decent defenseman one-on-one, most likely.
Most likely, yep.
It's the NHL, right? That's a very hard play to make.
Oh, yeah.
But once you get somebody thinking about another guy,
Right.
even though he doesn't pass to him, man, it changes everything.
Right, and that's
Because you can't just step up on him like normal.
Yeah.
Because all he's got to do is stop up and feather it over there.
And that's like the huge advantage of this whole blue line, realistically.
Yeah.
We got 3 guys that really like to jump in, right?
Sometimes 4 or 5, depending on how Big Z's playing.
Big Z, right?
Eric
Every once in a while.
Johnson.
Yeah. But yeah, like
even Cole sometimes.
hey, hell, man, he's hit a few posts and stuff lately. He's actually had some good little goals here and there. But yeah, like the major part of that goal is that breakout too, right? Like it's almost like a broken breakout happening, and Makar sees the puck squirt loose, kind of high slot, and he's like, hell nah, grabs that puck and he's out, passes it up to Calvert, boom.
When he's a man on a mission, watch out.
Yeah,
and
he's scary.
We missed that since before the break, basically since from when he came back from his injury until maybe now.
Yeah, like
he hasn't taken over like he did for the first 30 games of the year, where you're like, man, there's no way he doesn't win the Calder.
Right.
And it's coming back, and did we miss it or did we miss it?
Oh man, it's a pleasure. Yeah.
Right? So it's little things that Cale Makar does, but when you can push the pace like that, where that play had no business being a 2-on-1.
Oh yeah.
This is a play that, to me, has happened to the Avs a lot.
Yeah.
Where there's just like, how did this turn into a 2-on-1? And then, I'm not saying it's that same kind of play, but it's just like a broken play that all of a sudden it's like, oh man, all of a sudden that's a really big chance
High
against.
quality.
And the Avs are super guilty of like falling apart like that, just like the Sens did on that play. And it's brutal to watch when it's happening to your team, but man, it's fun watching it when it happens for your team.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, again, after that goal, all bets were off. It was 11-11 shots in the third, but like, I don't know, there has been a couple of those that are like outside the blue line and like all outside. I don't remember a single like real quality shot from Ottawa late in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. We've been saving Calvert the whole time. It was Comfer.
Oh. Yeah.
Honestly, for some reason I was like it was Calvert, but no, it's definitely Comfer. So
winners, redacted, all that redacted.
Comfer
scored.
But yeah. Oh, that was good though. Yeah, because I remember being like, "Oh, thank God, Comfer got a goal."
We're just gonna pretend that JT Comfer and Matt Calvert, same guy. Remember how we?
It's
had
funny.
this,
I think you were just talking about that, weren't
I
you?
think 2 episodes ago. Same guy.
Yeah.
I quit.
I quit.
I'm out.
But yeah, it's a good game, man.
Screw this game. I'm going home.
Screw you guys. I'm going. But yeah, 2 games in a row of just mostly complete dominance by the Avs. And that's just exactly what we already talked about. We need to see that against crappy teams. So, boom.
And we kind of brought this up in Thursday's episode. Columbus is supposed to be a crappy team. They were supposed to be a crappy team. They are killing it right now.
Yeah. And then, you're like, I mean, Columbus, if you don't pay attention to them, you're like, yeah, okay, like, I don't know. They're a team. And then you see, like, the stats. Sorry, I'm just opening this picture. Yeah, you're like, oh, since December 9th, 0.827%, so like 82.7% of points. 19-2-5? You're 19-2-5 since December 9th? Well done. Yeah, I got to say.
You know what they haven't had since December 9th? Their starting goalie.
Oh, exactly, right?
They haven't had their starting goalie since around that time. I can't remember when
it was right around there.
I can't remember when the Korpisalo injury was, but
right around halfway through December. Yeah,
like he might have had that game beforehand or whatever. But Elvis Merzlikins, I think I got sidetracked and didn't open Elite Prospects.
It's the most pronunciation I've heard.
That's what I've heard on most. The Avs broadcast was like Merzlikins or something. I don't think that's right, but I don't care. I'm going with Merzlikins. I'm probably just gonna say Elvis because
Exactly,
it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
This kid, do you remember this kid? Do you remember the first time you and I and Canadians saw this kid?
Oh, is this the
Latvian goalie?
This is the Latvian
This
goalie.
is the kid that made 52 saves against Team Canada in like a 1-0 hockey game.
Sense. It all makes sense.
This kid
Yeah.
is nuts, and he's just apparently still doing it.
Oh man. Yeah, I remember that game, and you're like, because what did Canada win that game? Even?
I think it was 1 or 2-0.
Okay. Yeah.
It was, and they had 50 something shots.
Yeah, and you're like, holy shit, who's this goalie?
You're like, oh man, it's just like the World Juniors. This kid's just hot, whatever. I'll have to keep an eye on him. Yeah, well, guess what? He's here.
Yeah.
And he's kind of Frankie-esque to me. Like, I'm not saying that they play a similar style. It's just where he doesn't look necessarily like he's superbly technically sound.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, he gets in the way of a lot of shots.
Right.
And he didn't have the best stat line last night,
Yeah.
Saturday night, because that's Grubauer had an amazing stat line, and I honestly, this is the part where it kind of is unfair for goalies at times, because a lot of the chances against Grubauer weren't great. Like, if you looked at a shot map, and I haven't in this game, I bet you 80 or 90% of the Blue Jacket shots are from, like, real low danger spots.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't, like, crazy opportunities happening
But
often.
But Grubauer made the saves he had to make
Yeah.
and ends up with a .969.
Yeah.
Whereas Elvis has a horseshoe firmly planted up his butthole, and he is just cranking out, like, whether it's cranking pucks off the post, 5 posts in this game, 4 shots technically, but 5 posts.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Right? You have, and the broadcast forgot about 1 at the end because they said 4 near the end because they were laughing about the 2, and I'm like, yeah, but you are forgetting about McKinnon right off the bat.
Yep.
McKinnon cranked the post on the power play
Right.
on the virtually identical shot that won the game.
Yeah. Oh, which is crazy. Nice.
Kadri smoked the post.
Yep.
Sorry. Kadri got robbed by Merzlikins.
Mm.
On a very similar shot to what scored with the 1-1 goal. And it's just, then you have that crazy crossbar post play. Then you have, who else? Oh, Makar hits
2 posts.
2 posts
in
right
the last
at the end of the second.
Yeah, in the last, like, 5 minutes of the
So you're
second
just
period.
like, there's 5.
Yeah.
But, the Avs get payback when the Blue Jackets were in the slot, wide open,
Right.
with Grubauer not ready for that shot, crank the crossbar.
Yeah, we got our little bit of
Thank
payback.
you. I texted you and said, are the posts bigger in Columbus or what? Because this is ridiculous.
Just every damn freaking sequence. Ping!
Did they,
Oh.
did both teams have, like, an ODR session before the game? Or, like...
Playing posts in practice.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. It was crazy. That is probably the most posts in a game I've seen in years. Like,
Well, like, and just...
'cause that's 7, I think.
It was a lot. Yeah. It was crazy.
Like, I just...
But yeah, like...
For a game that was 2-1, these are the games at 2-1 that are bearable. Like, this was a good hockey game. I think it was a great hockey game. And personally, for me, it was a great hockey game because the goalies played well, and obviously I love me some goaltending duels.
Hell yeah.
But there's 1-2, 2-1, 3-1 games where you're just like, can I just turn this off?
Yeah.
Because this is awful.
Yeah, I mean...
You know, like 20 shots each and stuff like that. Kind of similar to, like, the Blues and Avs game the last time or whatever when it was, like, 20 shots to, like, 18.
Right, yeah, that was
like,
the weird afternoon game,
like,
yeah.
What the hell is happening?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. Like, very high amount of competition, I'd say. Like, the pace early, too. Like, right when the puck dropped in this game, it was kind of wild for a few shifts, like back and forth. The then yeah, like you said earlier, that power play early, it was a good power play. There was times when we could have shot a couple more times. I know there was one point when Rantanen definitely should have just ripped it, but then he decides to go cross ice. Whatever, it was a pretty good power play. That's when McKinnon smashes the post.
The first time.
Yeah. And also, one other thing in this period was at about 5 minutes in, Nieto just completely saves a goal. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Milano or something. Was wide open in the slot. A lot of net to shoot at. Nieto just strips it right off him in the high slot. Huge back check by him.
I do have that. Yeah, that was. Well, it was Nieto. I had to look at the replay for a while, like a couple of times. And I'm like,
yeah,
what number is that?
But like, and that's right after that is kind of when the game settled in a little bit more because both teams kind of gathered themselves.
That particular play too, it's another one where it should have been a very high quality shot, but then the deflection happens. So it's a 2-on-1 pass across. Looks like Grubauer's got to make the big save on the one-timer. And I can't remember who was playing D, but they got in the way of the puck or the pass and tip it directly at Grubauer. And all of a sudden, it goes from being expected tough save on a one-timer to, holy crap, got to keep our own guy from scoring on us. And then that's what creates the wide-open chance in front that Nieto has to come up huge. And I was watching the replays and stuff, and I hadn't turned the game on yet at this point, so I didn't even know this happened until this morning.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how did that not end up in the net?
Yeah.
Because there's like, I don't know, 6 guys in front of the net, it seems, and Grubauer's not in the net.
Yeah. Yeah, it was sketch, man. That was a clutch play by Nieto, for sure.
Huge back check. But again, right, it's the same thing we've been talking about. Defense is not it's not a 2-man game, it's a 5-man game. It doesn't matter who you have on defense on that play.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously you have a defenseman that breaks up the 2-on-1, but it's not a defenseman that saves your ass. And I bet money, really good money, that if that was our first line, that's in the net.
Yeah, I mean, but
at the
might be right.
At the same time, your bottom 6 guys gotta be responsible like that.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you need Nieto to play like that.
Yeah.
Right, and
that's his role.
But again, right, that's why I want to add. In my opinion, at the deadline, I want to add another one of those responsible guys.
Yep.
Right? And it shouldn't cost you an arm and a leg for those guys.
You don't want Kovalchuk?
Oh, man. Do you think he's going to get moved?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
100% he will.
Like,
someone will get him.
Absolutely nuts.
He's been on fire, man.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Well, it's really easy to be on fire when teams just let you, shoot at empty nets.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
Like Toronto, because, I actually was laughing because while watching the Avs game, and the Avs game was 1-0, the Leafs game was also 1-0, and I'm just like...
Same people.
It's the same team. It's just 2 different jersey colors, and it's driving me insane. Why do I have to watch 2 teams that can't play defense but love to play offense? It's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wow, look, the Avs are playing really good defense, and they're playing a really nice, tight game. Oh, look, the Leafs are too. God damn it.
One and the same.
It's driving me up the wall. And it really drove me up the wall yesterday.
Yeah. Again, too, good PKs in the first period there.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up.
Also, that tough play to watch with Seth Jones. It's actually incredible that he's okay. I don't know how he's feeling today.
Yeah, right. You watch the goal he scores, and you're like, I don't think he's okay.
Right, because he's like limping after.
You're like, I don't think he's okay.
Like he got
I'm
tweaks.
really not sure how that's not a penalty.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. It was just like, man, he just goes into the netting weird, and his skate gets caught up in that.
Yeah,
in
but
net.
it's not like he goes there on purpose. Like,
yeah,
he is forced there, and it's a stick that forces him there, and it's just like,
EJ. Yeah.
I was blown away that ref's arm didn't go up.
I thought he broke his leg on that, man. Like, I thought that was like a broken ankle or like an ankle sprain or something.
Yeah, like that could very well be like he tweaked his ankle or something. Like that could be how he could still play.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
just
to me,
because the boot and
if it's your knee, you're probably not able to continue necessarily. But at the same time, like, Zach Hyman played on a busted ACL, I believe, last playoffs against
Right.
Boston. So it's like some hockey players are
Super
just
tough enough.
crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
Like this is not new. Hockey players are a different.
Hockey players are strong.
What?
Nah.
They're beasts, and they have a different
Pain
threshold,
threshold.
or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, man. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
But it's still surprising when you see guys and you know what guys are dealing with, and you're like, you're still good, huh?
Yeah. And that's like when he came out in the second period, I was like,
Wait,
Jones?
Wait, what?
What are you doing out here, man?
And it certainly
Tough guy, man.
certainly was a good thing he came back, as we said.
Yeah.
So the Avs took 5 penalties in this one.
Yeah.
This was the one blemish on the PK's record. It's so again. I don't want to get too crazy on the penalty kill on this one. Like I'm not too upset, but it's a case of guys getting caught in no man's land.
Yeah.
Right off a draw, when your first instinct should be bust your ass to the point, especially on a face-off like that where it's not hard. Like, it wasn't one hard and crisp to the point.
Yeah, it wasn't perfectly clean. or
Your
anything.
winger, I can't remember which winger it was, but you got to bust your ass to that puck and not give him time and space.
Especially on the penalty kill.
Because now I understand, because you're probably looking at the winger at the center of, like, in the center of the ice, not the centerman, because the centerman's going to have a hard time getting to the point.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if your winger then goes to the left point, now your right point's wide open. But at least he has to make the pass,
Yeah.
right?
It's tough because
When-
we've seen a few goals like this happen to the Avs.
Right? And when you just get caught in no man's land in the NHL, it's again, you're just giving a guy a lot of time. Seth Jones picks the puck up, takes a step or two into the center of the ice, and just rips it does whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it goes in.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you're there and you're creating problems and making him not go to the center of the ice, maybe he has to one-time that puck.
Yeah.
It's not friggin' just laying down flat. Like, you have no idea what's coming if he one-times that puck. Plus the fact then maybe he misses the pass across to his D partner or something, and then you can
It's
all of a
pressure,
sudden
right?
you can regroup, right? Pressure changes everything.
Yep.
And I'm not hating on the winger on this one. It's a tough one to read,
Mm-hmm.
but generally, more often than not, if you create pressure, it's a better option than to just try and defend in no man's land,
Yeah.
because you're generally not really doing anything. Right? Because
yeah.
Seth Jones had 3 or 4 options. Whereas if you're pressuring him, he has one, and that's to pass it across. And if he
he's
misses
gotta
that
do it
pass,
quick.
then all of a sudden you're all able to regroup and get in position and make your box and
Yeah.
set up.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to keep in mind because it's not the first time it's happened.
No.
I think that's probably the 3rd or 4th time we've actually been scored on the power play. Maybe not all on the power play, but off a face-off and
Yeah.
quick shot by the point. So, I don't know. And it's also like Grubauer on that. It's like, I don't blame him or anything. It's just tough, man, because I think most of those have been against Grubauer too. And I don't know if it's some kind of focus issue right off the draw. I don't know.
Yeah, like this, you can probably ask for a save on this one,
Right.
but still, it's a guy like Seth Jones wide open in the high slot. He's got literally every option to shoot at. It's hard to read it.
He can shoot where he wants on that, right?
So it's like,
and make the shot that he wants.
again, Grubauer's not a very big guy, so it's like when he doesn't really have, when he doesn't have a way to like remove shot options, it's hard for him to cover everything because
Right.
he's not 6'6".
Yeah.
Right, so it's when you're high slot, you have the option to shoot literally the whole net, like every single corner. You have the option, right? It's not like you're short side and everything's tighter
Yeah,
and
you
you
got
got short and far side and all this stuff.
You got the
When-
biggest angle there.
When you're wide open and there's nobody like in your lane and stuff, it's just it's just shooter versus goalie, and yeah, that's why I think it's fair to say like Gruby, you need a save there, but you also need some better defense.
Yeah, and just more attention off the bat there.
But again, I'm not at all like compared to other breakdowns we've seen in the Avs in the last month.
Oh yeah,
This is so far down the list.
totally. It was just unfortunate.
The problem with
honestly.
this one is the fact that it looked like it was going to be the backbreaker for the whole, like almost the entire game.
Honestly, man, like, yeah.
It was like, is this seriously going to be a 1-0 hockey game?
Well,
and honestly, if it was, we've talked about it, right? This isn't necessarily a game where you're looking at it and you're like, God, we need more out of the Avs. Okay, they had 22 shots after the 60 minutes. Not great. But 0 for 2 on the power play, I can live with against Elvis and the Columbus Blue Jackets. They hit 5 posts. I can deal with it.
Right.
Like I'm okay if the Avs would have lost this game completely.
If they played, that way.
Right? Like I'm okay. Those are the games you're okay with losing.
Because
they showed up.
There's not much else they could have done, right?
They worked their tails off, aside from the fact that they only got 22 shots on net.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that was a great game from the Avs, and up until Kadri scored, it was just pure crazy luck that kept the puck out of the net, right?
Yeah. Following that goal off the face-off, there's this absolutely ridiculous hooking call on Rantanen.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, where's the hook, ref? Where is it? I'm looking for it. I watched it a few times in a commercial break because I'm like legit trying to understand how you call this hook. Anyway, it was not a hook. It wasn't. And the whole time that Rantanen's sitting in the box, I'm like, watch them fucking score on this power play just because it was such an awful call. Thank God it did not happen. But like, what the fuck, refs? I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent on the refs, but like that was the worst call I've seen all year. Like nowhere near a hook. If anything, you could maybe call like a hold because he kind of like touches his shoulder on the way by, but it's like, come on, man. What kind of game are we calling here? Like I've seen hooks way worse than that already in this game.
You definitely were not alone. I gotta find it. I forgot to look for it.
It was so bad. I can't even believe that they called that. And yeah, that was like when they show Rantanen reacting to him getting the call, and he's losing it too. I don't blame you, Moose. Like, I don't know what the hell they're looking at there. And it's just like, man, I don't want to see those little pussy hooks like that called. Like, come on, let them play a bit. And like, you go through the game and you're seeing way worse hooks happen, and you're like, you're not gonna call that then? Like, okay. And then they kind of gave the penalty a kind of a weak call later on. I think it's in the third period against Columbus, and you're like, is that payback? Is that payback?
It's the old 2 wrongs make a right, except they don't.
Anyway, late in that second period, there's that crazy flurry by Makar we kind of already talked about. It's just like, what activation too? Like he seems to really know when to pinch. But
oh my God! Okay,
smashes 2 posts.
We got to go back. I just saw the hook for the first time.
Oh. The hook.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. That's pretty awful. What's the worst part about that is the fact that it's not the close ref that calls it. It's the ref that's at the far blue line that makes that call.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
And it's, I can kind of see, like, it's not there, but I can see like what he thought he saw.
Yeah.
Cause he thinks he saw the can opener where Rantanen gets a stick between the knee and the wrist and the arm.
Mm-hmm.
But the ref is behind Rantanen, so he's literally making up the call there.
He's assuming.
Yeah,
that's
what I mean.
Assumption.
That's what I mean, right? Like he thinks that Rantanen got a stick between the knee and the arm.
The other ref's probably like, oh man.
Well, but the other problem is that the other ref is on the other side of the Columbus Blue Jacket player, so he has a reason to be looking at. So this is how I ref generally when I do like men's league and stuff. There's 2 of us on the ice, whether it's me and the other guy calling penalties. And generally speaking, I give my partner if he's closest, I give him the benefit of the doubt on calls if I see him looking straight at it.
Right.
Which on this play, both like the guy inside the zone with this play is looking straight at the play. But because it's kind of on the back side of the Blue Jacket player, the guy outside the zone might think he's got a better look at it.
Yeah.
But then he just makes it up because he's behind Rantanen too, so he's just like making up the call. It's bad. It's absolutely terrible. This is not being biased at all. Like, and
well, that's what I mean. Like, how can you agree with that?
That's
call?
that's a
no way.
phantom hook. It's
no
not good.
no Blue Jacket fan is thinking that's a hook, and if you are, get real, dude.
If you are, you're just being biased because you like power plays. Like,
Yeah.
Right. It's maybe you go like maybe you think it's a slash too. The hold is even worse. That'd be even worse in my opinion.
Oh yeah, exactly right.
Because the slash, you're like, oh, maybe he got him in the hands.
Yeah.
But it's not good. Thankfully, they didn't score.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Because we would be ranting.
Because that would be the ball breaker right there too, right? If that goes 2-0 at that point, oh boy.
We'd be ranting about a penalty on Rantanen.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
straight up.
Sorry, that was really bad.
That's wow. That's a Jared joke right there. I tell you.
Brett, where's our song?
Soon enough.
Soon enough.
Little teaser.
Anywho, yeah, like you were saying, Makar.
Yeah, the post late, all over.
He activates.
Elvis.
It's very similar to the play in the Ottawa game where he sees a broken play coming.
Yeah, he's so good at recognizing what plays are developing.
It's
right?
crazy because he activates himself. Like, he activates his pinch before the shot even happens.
Yeah, he just knows
it's crazy.
how to...
He's like, he's shooting. There's going to be a rebound. I'm going to go try and get it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he gets in and he gets a shot. And then he kind of hangs around the dot and ends up with the puck again and smashes the post.
Yeah.
Now, that's an outside of the post one. That's a... You're just hitting the post.
The second post is just kind of like,
whatever.
It's pretty tight angle. So.
Yeah, and it's just funny. And
but
then,
also just his will to go for it again.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Because you never know. If you make a perfect shot there, that might go in, right? Pop over a goalie's shoulder.
Plenty of guys have scored there.
We've seen it.
Right?
Even this year, there's been some crazy sharp angle goals, right?
All the time.
Yeah.
Because when goalies do that RVH stuff, they get caught in places against the post. It's just the way it is. But then, again, 14 seconds left in the period, Makar hits the post again. And you're just like, are you serious, man?
Yeah.
The Avs just aren't going to score.
That was the C-bar one, right?
Yeah.
That's the classic Makar C-bar from the point. It's like, dude's just always sniping top shelf from the point. I love it, but like,
God.
he's hit so many crossbars and posts this year.
You're
I wonder
like,
just him. He's probably over 10 now.
You're like, can you just please go in?
Just an inch lower, man.
Please, can we get a goal here, please?
Yeah, because that's the thing too, right? Like after this many posts, you're like,
it's just
Why?
just never going in.
Why
It's
is
not
this happening? Just go in the net, please. Like we're like kind of outplaying Columbus at that point, right? Where we started to take control later in that second period, especially into the third period. And it's just like, yeah, you get the feeling you're like, oh no, I think Elvis is gonna take us out of this game here.
Crazy, man.
And the posts. Elvis and his brothers.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
So yeah, that's how the second ends. The third starts. It's slow for the Avs. They had. I'm trying to think. There was some chances they had early in the third.
Yeah, but also Big Z takes that tripping penalty about 3 minutes in. It's like, oh, that's like also a pretty bad time for a penalty because we're trying to get back in this game, and then oh shit, we gotta kill a penalty.
Well, yeah, and we've all, well, I wouldn't say we've all, but you and I and Brett, we've been there in games like this, and you're just like, that, you're killing me, man. You're really killing me. This is not the time. It's one thing if you're taking a penalty and you're preventing a goal, the good penalties,
right?
But it's another when you're just not. It's effort and stuff.
Lazy and you're
lazy
just
stick and stuff.
Not fully attentive to where your stick is and like what your stick's gonna do, where it is.
But again, Avs big time kill.
And that's when I think that is that during that penalty that they have the crossbar on Grubauer. I'm not sure if it's during the penalty or if it was just after. Oh, actually, I think it's right when it expires.
No, it was after. It was 11:30.
Oh, okay, so I'm way off. Anyway, that happens later. But yeah, like again, it was a pretty good kill. Like the Avs did a good job of killing penalties in these last two games for sure. That being Blue Jackets and Senators. it's just good to see because honestly, we've been struggling, and like just lack of effort. I feel like on previous penalty kills, over the past month and a half. But now it's starting to get some aggression, get some really closing off lanes. Well, it was good. So, but yeah, I mean, it was just a wearing down process in this third period. As it went on longer and longer, the Avs just continued to apply pressure, and that was the biggest thing for me in this third was they just did not give up. They didn't get too, I guess, frustrated realistically.
Well, see, this is one thing too I'd like to point out. The Avs only get 6 shots at net, like at the net, in the third, and the Jackets get 16. But this is one of the ones where you got to have the eye test and you got to watch the period.
Right.
I don't think the Blue Jackets outplayed them by 3 times. Like this is why
shot totals.
This is why like shots you can't just judge a game on shots.
Totally.
The Avs were again, they didn't score Nathan McKinnon's goal until 4.5 minutes left in the game to go up. And I don't think they were getting outplayed for the majority of that third period.
No.
And a shot total of 16-6 would say
you got schooled.
You'd expect you got outplayed big time.
Yeah.
I think the Avs had a great third period. Now, obviously, they probably sat back for the last 3.5 minutes, and that's where a lot of shots came from, most likely. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the shot clock during the period. You could feel it, and
I get
you could
your
feel
point.
You could feel the Avs were pushing big time. And again, posts don't count. They have 26 shots on net if you count posts.
Yeah.
Right? So that looks a lot better too.
And the other thing is, my God, did the Blue Jackets do a good job in their own end of that collapse. They have a really solid collapse, block every shot imaginable.
Well, I think somebody retweeted a shot map from the first 2 periods maybe.
Right.
And the Avs hadn't had a shot in between the hash marks and the net for like the whole game almost.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, that could partially be why we're at 0.
But honestly, and that like a lot of that is due to every single time we get a chance in the slot, there's like 3 layers of Blue Jacket players all putting their body on the line.
But and then you think about it, right? That's Tortorella's team.
Exactly.
That was Tortorella's team in New York.
Up.
That was Tortorella's team in Vancouver.
That's exactly what I
it's
thought.
Tortorella's team in CBJ.
Yep. And
right?
They're playing his system well. Like they really are.
And this is what's frustrating about listening to people say like, "Oh, can't get them to play our system." What do you mean you can't? John Tortorella, of all people, can get a team like the Columbus Blue Jackets to be in 3rd in the Metro right now.
A team who's just been all over the map and out like unorganized. Yeah. Almost like, what is the plan of this team?
Yeah.
That's what it's been feeling like the last 3-4 years. And you're really seeing the plan working now.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so quick to finish this because it's been getting a bit long here as usual.
Classic.
Kadri, the foreshadowed goal from his robbery by Elvis earlier in the game. Same chance, same shot, gets it by him this time.
Yeah.
God, that made me happy.
Yeah. Shout out to Big Z. I'm giving you an assist on this, boy.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. I don't think he officially gets one.
No, he doesn't.
But man, he deserves it.
He gets an assist in my heart on this one. Like, this just made me so happy.
Yeah, that is a great play.
I think it's Gerby, right?
I think so.
Look at the size difference, too. It's
not fair.
Pretty funny. But, man, like, those plays standing up at the offensive blue line is one of my favorite things to see.
It's ballsy because
yes,
we could have easily been chirping him today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If that goes a different way.
If that turns into a 2-on-1 or something
that's
the other
like
way.
a 2 or 3-on-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, that kind of makes it... When Kadri scores, you're like, okay, I think overtime's coming.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Nate the Great absolutely...
You gotta love it.
Blister one. Posting in, I guess, the 6th post of the game.
Yeah.
Good post, though.
Yeah.
Absolute rocket.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, Ben Bishop might save that.
Maybe because he's taller.
Yeah,
Or is
but
he?
like
I don't know.
he's probably the only goalie that's got a chance.
I mean, that is a freaking bomb, and like, it's just like an exclamation point on how much of a shooter McKinnon is. Now.
You want to
there you go.
You want to put a puck in a place that's like if you put that there, it's going in 99% of the time. That's the shot, and it is an absolute thing of beauty. Probably the best shot we've seen this year.
Oh man, it was just a rocket, and you just watch the puck, and you're like, it's just like rising, and it's freaking cruising. Like I love it. It even hits Elvis's right shoulder a tiny bit. Doesn't even matter. Blows right through it. Probably hurt. Like yeah, that was a bomb, dude.
Just nuts. But again, shout out to Nathan McKinnon for that.
Hell yeah.
Big Z, Grubauer for rocking the 969.
Yeah, man.
At the end of the game here, huge game for Philip Grubauer.
I mean, yeah, you kind of said already, like, yeah, they didn't have too many quality maybe chances.
You still got to make the saves.
They did have volume, and he did have to shut down some rebounds, and he played an excellent game for sure.
I was a big fan. Quick touch. So again, Minnesota is after this recording. So go Avs. Happy thoughts. Happy.
I mean, if we keep playing like we have in these last 3 games, this is what we like. I am super stoked. My positivity's through the roof now, and it's the exact perfect time. Like I was just thinking after the break, I'm like, okay, we need some really solid strings of good performances together. Not even necessarily wins. We just need some really good hockey.
Yeah,
and we're getting it. Boy, are we getting it now.
Agreed.
And we're getting some stops from Grubauer. We'll see how Frankie does here. Is he playing against Minnesota?
I would assume so. I can't imagine putting Gruby
I would
in
think
place.
too. So I mean, all like there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's coming, boy.
And then another game prior to recording on Wednesday evening is the rematch between the Sens and the Avs. This time at the Pepsi Center.
Mm-hmm.
The Avs start their 5-game homestand.
Hooray!
Hooray! Get your beer here.
Get your beer.
Hopefully people are going down to this one. Probably won't exactly be a barn burner, but it's still a game. It's still Avs at home.
Hey, hell, you might see another dominating performance, which is always fun to see, right?
It's watching your own team win it in your own building is never a bad thing.
Good times.
Never a bad thing.
Speaking of own building, the Winter Classic.
Stadium Series,
not Winter Classic.
It's not.
Stadium Classic. It's coming up on Saturday. So, hell yeah. That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
It's against the LA Kings, which I still think is really, really kind of odd and weird, but they're kind of trash, but doesn't mean anything, right? We know what this league brings.
The sell-off has started in LA.
Right.
I'd almost think they don't have a player that's on the team right now while we're recording. I feel like there's going to be one less player on that roster by Saturday.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, and that's, I guess, another thing to note is that trade deadline is quickly approaching. I think, we're just over 2 weeks away. I think it would be 2 weeks Tuesday, if I'm correct. I think it's on, 26th or something? Yeah, I think it's 25th.
I think it's the 25th.
So, it's coming.
25th, 24th.
16 days, yeah. So, 2 weeks Tuesday. Keep an eye out, man, because there might be quite a bit of movement this year. We could see some big moves.
Assume that your Avs are going to make a move. It won't be a blockbuster.
If I'm a betting man, I feel like there's one piece, maybe 2 pieces coming. Like we've kind of already talked about, we think it's going to be a tool man on the forward. So yeah,
but
keep
again,
an eye out. It's coming.
Happy days, happy thoughts. Go Jets. Where the hell did that come from?
Jeez.
Go Avs. It's kind of like, no, it's not. Maybe it was the Stadium Series, the military. I don't know.
Yeah.
Go Avs.
Go Jets that are flying over on Saturday, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about that. We should put this poll up, actually, after we record this. Sunny skies or snowy day?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because I'm curious, because I think I'm with...
What would you rather?
I think I want snow.
I want snow, 100%. Always.
Not a lot of snow.
Yeah.
Just some.
Just a little bit of a flurry. Not so much that it's really going to disrupt the ice surface a lot.
Yeah.
Get those shovels going. Hopefully that's enough. But it's always fun to see a little bit of flurries going on, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, forget I said that. Redacted again. Redacted. Go Avs. Hopefully we see you on Thursday with 4 more points in the bank.
Hell yeah.
From
That
right now.
would be lovely.
Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Last but not least today, we have a fantastic deal from Reebok. Reebok is offering an extra 50% off if you use the code GETDOWN, no spaces. This would be a perfect time to get yourself some new workout gear, maybe some UFC fight merch. Whatever you're looking for, this code will save you some money. Also, same as with Puffy and NHL Shop. If you shop through our link, which we will tweet after the episode, you can help support us and the Hockey Podcast Network. Again, thanks for tuning in to our growing network of podcasts, and we hope you enjoy our episode. Don't forget to visit us on Twitter at Offside by a Mile to join our conversation and have your voice heard. Also, check out the rest of the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet and thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. You can listen to the podcast there or anywhere you get your podcasts from. The biggest thing you can do to support us is by going to iTunes or Apple Podcasts and giving us a 5-star rating. Also, if you're looking to donate to the network, visit the Hockey Podcast Network's Patreon page. All donations go straight to the podcast host. Thanks, and see you next episode.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network on Twitter at HockeyPodNet. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.